Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Brian Clark State Farm offers a range of insurance products to fit your unique needs and give you a peace of mind. Our dedicated team helps you find the perfect policy to safeguard your biggest investments. Brian Clark State Farm can steer you in the right direction on auto insurance, and we've got your home covered from natural disasters to unexpected accidents. Contact me, State Farm Agent Brian Clark, at 217-732-6211 or visit sfinsurelincoln.com. Go Railers!
The following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com.
There we go, a little bit. Good morning. All right, there we are. A little technical difficulties. You know, it wouldn't be a Saturday morning sports show without technical difficulties. But we are broadcasting live from the Hampton Inn this morning. And victory Saturday for the Railers. We've got Coach Sokowski sitting in with us. Coach, hell of a game last night.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, MacArthur, they get the opening kickoff, go down and score, and then the Railers answer, right back. And your offense was rolling last night. Great play calling,
Yeah.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. You had Tate Johnston back there running up the middle, and then Gabe Smith had a hell of a game, and
Keep going.
Bunner, Keeler.
The
Yeah.
entire offensive line.
Yeah.
Tight end.
You know, it's
Keeler made a couple great plays.
Yeah. Your tight end, I can't think of his name.
Jaden Gully.
He had some good catches for some positive yards to get some first downs to keep it rolling. Just overall offense, man, they were a juggernaut last night, and they couldn't be stopped. Now, on the other side of the ball, our defense struggled at times, but MacArthur, give credit to them. They hit on those big plays, and that's what, kept them in the game.
Yeah, and coming in, that's kind of what we knew. Like, we had to limit the big plays. Like, they just got better athletes out on the edge than we do, and, we knew that coming into the year that, that was going to be a weakness for us. It was, the athleticism in the secondary. We just had, knew we had to keep getting better every week. And, they hit some big plays, but, when we really needed some, big stops, late in the game, they came through with those. And, our offense just kind of kept it rolling. And, we ran double the amount of plays that they did. And we ran 84 offensive plays last night.
Wow.
To their 40. So that's going to, be a huge factor for us. And, we average 6 yards a play when you break that all down. So if you're getting a first down every 2 plays, it's,
that's
a 98-yard drive too there. I mean, that was just, it just seemed like everything we were calling was just hitting.
Yeah.
The kids were just blocking so well.
43-33, had some opportunities in the first half. We get down there in the, I think the late in the first quarter, down inside the 5. Bad snap, kicks us back, so you attempt a long field goal.
Yeah.
I had the distance, just a little bit wide, so a good call there. Just didn't capitalize on it. And then right before half, you're down on the 2-yard line and just ran out of time.
Yeah.
Probably wishing, obviously hindsight is key, but didn't have a timeout in your pocket. And, the kids did a good job of calling the play. And I think the play just took a little too long. They got piled up and, some time ran off and just couldn't get back to down it.
Yeah, we called 2 plays in the huddle there, so we knew. And, we don't practice it every week, like 2-minute, like go spike kill, but, we've done it enough, and we have so much experience on the field that the kids know how to respond in those situations. We called that run play, really unbalanced. You have the center, then everybody else is to the left of the center, so we call that stupid. We've been having that back. We've actually had that in the playbook for a couple of years. We just have never ran it, and so that was kind of the time to do it. And it was there. We actually missed a block there, but it was there.
Yeah, no, it was there all night, Coach.
It was there. Yeah. It's just, but we'll learn from it.
Yeah.
Just guys just got to have their eyes upfield and see safety coming down, and we get in on that.
Well, you talk about just performing and, staying in the game. And that's exactly what you did. You came out second half, you took the lead, and, MacArthur had their opportunities, and your defense, held them when they needed to.
Yeah, that PAT block was huge that Gabe had to. I just remember screaming like, hey, effort here. We need really, really good effort. We need really good effort. And that's exactly what we got. And Gabe made a heck of a play. And, that was a big momentum switch, change there. And then, I think there are a couple points in that game, particularly in the second half, where you can kind of feel that kind of broke their backs a little bit. We go on that 98-yard drive, convert a 2-point conversion. I think it just, whenever they kind of crawled back in, we just responded and, made some big plays.
Yeah, the 2-point conversion, that was a gutsy call. You're up 7. You kick the field goal, you're up 8. It gives them an opportunity to score in 2-point conversion. But if you go for 2, you're up 9. And, that I don't want to say it seals the game, but it's a 2-possession game where, they have to score, onside kick, and score again. But
and stop us.
Yeah, and that running the ball like that, time management was a key too. He ate a lot of time off in that fourth quarter, and didn't give them any time to do anything.
No, that's something that Tate's so good at. Is he understands that for us, and that's why he's our quarterback. Is just the way he just held them in the huddle. Understands what we're trying to do, doesn't rush the thing, and I thought it was just perfect execution. And we were going for 2 2 the whole time. When we got that ball back, I was like, I remember saying in the headsets, hey, we're going for 2 guys. And like, all right, well, let's worry about that if we get there. But, yeah, that was the call. I mean, the sheet, the chart says go for 1. But,
hey,
the human spirit trumps the chart. And, just the way we were moving the ball.
Right.
And I remember after we scored, too, I remember Tate kind of looked at me and, he wanted it. And, okay, yeah, we're on the same page here. Let's do this thing.
Now, Tate had a lot of yardage up the middle. Is that a play that you were calling, or was he checking off to that? Did he see something in the defense where, because, he had positive yardage about every time?
No, some of that was called runs. And when we made the transition of Tate the quarterback, the whole idea was we were going to run him. That was an extra running back for us. So some of it was called. And then some of it's an option. It's kind of, it's a power read. If you turn on college football today, you'll see every team running it. So we put that in a couple of years ago off because we were running so much jet sweep. So we kind of put that off of that. And so, yeah, he's just reading the end man on the line of scrimmage. And if he, comes down, he just gives it. If he sits or comes upfield, he pulls it. We'd say that's the general rule, but really I think they're just reading the area. And I'm good with that. They just read that hole there. And if he feels he can pull that and get yards, then go ahead and do that. And made some good reads on it last night.
Yeah, he did a great job game management. We've talked about him all year long, and he's a smart kid, knows what to do, and made the right call all night.
10 for 12 throwing too.
Yeah.
10 for 12. So
that's one thing we really haven't touched on, but some of those throws, they were kind of heartbreaking for MacArthur too, because they had us in a couple tough positions, third and long and that we made a couple little flips, and boy, those are 10, 12, 14 yards, and fun to watch.
4th and 9, converted a flood pattern route there, and that was something actually. Kyle actually called that play at halftime. We were walking back to the field at the end of the half there, at the end of the halftime, and Kyle's like, if we throw gators, I think I can make a play on that, and that's what we went to. That was the play that Kyle told me that he felt that he can get open on, and that's who Tate threw it to, and he converted a huge 4th down for us there, and it was good. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man.
Well, especially when you're on the winning side, it makes it that much more fun. But the kids played their hearts out. I think we need to get maybe Tate a little smaller helmet. I know he had some helmet issues there. He had to come out one play because his helmet popped off, and
but in his shoe.
And he was playing without his shoe.
Hey, why not?
Yeah, I did notice you threw Tate in on the defense a little bit more last night than we have last few weeks. I'm sure that gassed him a little bit, but boy, it was fun to see him out there and help him make plays too.
Yeah, Preston got hurt, and it was kind of like a decision we made. Last week it was due to kind of conserve him a little bit, and then this week we were like, okay, we're not going to play him, start him on defense because we knew we were going to run him a lot last night. So it was like we got to make a decision on what we want to do there. So it was kind of we coming in, we knew we were going to run Tate a lot. That was. And then early on, when these moving piles, it's just solidified it. Yep, game plan's right.
Yeah.
Just keep feeding, and Bunner ran for 100 and, just running, carrying dudes over. And, I thought Gabe, I was very impressed with Gabe finishing his runs last night.
He had some cutbacks and found that hole where he was trying to get outside and then he just cut it up.
Yeah.
A lot of good reads.
One cut and go. Yeah, then even, one's on the perimeter, he's finishing, he's lowering his shoulder into the guy and just running that guy over. And, that was really good. When you got guys that can do that on the perimeter, then, 2 guys that can run inside and do that, after a while, that's kind of what it really came down to at the end is you're just looking across the line and, especially the number 56, that kid was gassed. He's just bending over so it kind of got to the point where it's like, all right, where's 56 at? And we're just running at him. It wasn't nothing crazy behind it. It's just where they weak at right now, and let's attack it.
Yeah, and you got to give some credit to your linemen. That they made the holes and
they were. And we challenged them pregame. Like I told them, when we were inside in our team meeting there, is like, if we were going to be successful tonight, it was on those 6 guys up front. And Jaden Gully, Frank Sanders, Zach Poole, Sean Hicks. Will Bickle stepped in after Preston went down, so Will Bickle had a huge night. And then Alec Claudio, those guys just played so hard all night and, ran for 395 yards. I mean, that's a lot of yards.
A lot of yards. And I don't know how many would Tate throw for. Had
120.
So he had to
about
be over
120.
So.
Yeah, so 517 total
Nice
yards.
job by the offensive line.
Oh, that was huge. Yeah.
They kept them back pretty much all night. I mean, just good play calling. I mean, that was the big part of it.
Yeah.
And keeping them off balance. But yeah, good
Defensively, I thought you guys did a good job of containing as well. I know Frank looked like he was lined up a little wide out there.
Yeah.
And he was either going at the quarterback or he'd go guard that flat.
Yeah, that's what it was all about. Is they didn't really. We just wanted them to be able to. They ran a lot of zone read and they ran a lot of perimeter runs. Previous games, but they only ran outside one time. They really kept everything. They didn't pull anybody. They ran one run concept the entire night, and our kids did a good job of just slowing it down.
Yeah, you want to eliminate the big plays, and they had a few that hurt us, but overall they did their job, and kept them from scoring when they had to.
Yeah, it was huge. It was huge. Yeah, a lot of big plays there, and on that last kickoff, we threw some starters on. We put Frank on that last kickoff. Tate went on that last kickoff, and Frank went screaming downfield, made the play. We just kind of, in that moment, it was whatever we need to do to be successful.
Yeah, actually, that kickoff, we were sitting there talking. I'm like, man, I can't believe they're kicking it so deep. And then I'm like, oh, there's Frank.
Frank got down there. And,
Frank was there in a blink of an eye.
That group really wanted this, that one last night. It was very evident, and you could tell really early on just how they're finishing their plays and moving piles. Like, okay, these guys they're in this thing tonight. They want to win this one bad. So.
And that was a key game for you. It put you at 4-2.
4-2 now.
And you got 3 games left, and they're 3 tough games. I think you got Glenwood, Quincy, Notre Dame, and Jacksonville.
Yep.
So you get 1 out of 3, Coach. You're right back in the playoffs.
Should be in.
So last night was a pivotal game, and you guys took care of business.
Yeah, absolutely. And we didn't really talk about it much throughout the week. We kind of really just we want to put the pressure on the kids. We want just to feel loose and fly around and have fun. But yeah, that's preseason. You kind of when you look at everything, like, okay, what's our track to 5? We felt if we could be 4-2 heading into the last 3, that was best case scenario for us. And our kids did a great job to put us in that. And I felt it was and we really didn't know really what kind of team we were until last night, because the previous 5 games, they were all lopsided one way or the other. Either we were a lot better than our opponent or our opponent was a lot better than us. So last night was that first, like, what I would call 50-50 game.
Right.
And our kids just
responded
played so well.
You get down early, the kids could put their heads down, and here we go. But they fought back to tie it up and just kept rolling.
Yeah,
and the offense looked great. It did. I think we had positive yardage on probably 95% of the plays. I don't remember it being stuffed or a loss too many times.
Yeah, just a handful. And that was they were blitzed, and they just start blitzing from inside a lot, and we got caught in a bad play call or something like that. So then, but it was very well. Our kids were able to execute offensively so well that it's like, okay, you're going to blitz inside, we're just going to run it outside. Then you're going to kind of back off on that and stack the edges a little bit. Okay, now we're just going to run it inside. Like, it was just kind of that chess game back and forth.
It worked out. So great game plan, great play calling. You stuck with it.
Yep.
Like I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
That's our kind of, like, then when you look, I know I've said it before, like, we want to be a physical team this year, and last night was kind of exactly what we needed to be. Yeah. And that's, it was really, really rewarding, for our players and, our coaches that work so hard, with those kids to get them better. And, Chuck McFadden just had those guys, the O-linemen, just ready to play last night. He did whatever he did, said to them pregame. It worked.
Well,
so yeah,
keep it up.
Fun.
Keep it up. Next Friday we got Glenwood.
Yes, we're at Chatham.
And they just lost to U-High last night, 33-13.
I think it was 26-0 at one point.
I'll tell you what, U-High's.
Yeah, 33-13.
A lot tougher than what everybody thought they were going to be this year.
Us too. We fell for it too.
Yeah.
We fell into that trap. And Rochester was only up 21-0 at half against Eisenhower.
At half.
So I don't know what. I think Rochester's slow start for them.
Yeah, and they have a lot of injuries and kind of piece things in there, but you know, it doesn't matter what they did, but we just took care of MacArthur, and now we travel to Glenwood. We know it's going to be a tough one. Glenwood's always tough, but tell you what, if you guys play like you did last night, you know, just I think time management's probably key in that as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be one where we bleed that clock. You know,
eliminate turnovers.
Yeah.
No turnovers
last night. No, a few penalties, but no big penalties. They were all just little 5-yard ones here and there, and you know, so that was huge too for us. So, you
made
know,
some adjustments on the snaps, it looked like, as well. So
Shun kind of settled down there.
Yeah.
And, you know, we didn't have to punt last night either, which was huge.
Yeah.
We only punted in 2 of our 6 games, so that's kind of nice.
Fair enough, unless you're the punter, you're not getting any action.
That's right.
I think they'll take that.
Get out there.
Yeah.
But a great job all around, and a big win. 4-2 right now, and that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, we're happy with where we're at. You know, really are, and you know, like I said, it's best case scenario for us, and you know, we're gonna enjoy this one this weekend, and you know, at least today, and get ready to go for tomorrow.
Now, have you watched any Glenwood tape yet?
I do. We saw him play Eisenhower and MacArthur. We got those so far. They still haven't accepted the exchange. I just checked before I walked in the door. So yeah, we'll go work on that. And actually, we're going to go out to Monmouth College today. Monmouth's playing Illinois College, and we have 3 alumni on Monmouth and 3 on Illinois College. So
nice.
We're gonna go out there and check that out this afternoon. So
I'm sure
fun to see those kids.
Yeah, the kids appreciate it. You know, you see their former coach supporting them, and that's always fun. And, you know, do you wear blue or do you wear red?
I'm gonna wear this. I'm gonna wear the Lincoln gear, and
there you go.
You know, just go out and enjoy it, get something to eat with the guys, and it'll be fun.
It will be fun. Well, Coach, big win. Let's keep it going. Get that one more. You know, 1 out of 3 is what we're looking for, but 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3 is better.
Yeah, we'll take it. You know, we'll take it. And it was our first win in program history against MacArthur. We were previously 0-3.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. So that was the first time we beat them, which was cool. And just a lot of fun stuff there.
Well, a lot of fun when you put up 400 yards rushing.
It is a lot of fun.
and score 43 points.
43 points.
Yeah,
and MacArthur, they'll be a team to contend with down the road. Freshman quarterback.
Oh yeah, they had some athletes there. You know, they had some athletes. I think they could have done some other things to kind of exploit us, but we'll take it.
You know, well.
I would have called a different game against us if I had those guys.
Yeah, right. Yeah. They didn't.
No, we'll take it.
We'll take it. All right, Coach.
Our kids played so well.
Big win. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You see how the injury front is today. Get the kids all healed up and get ready for Glenwood.
Yep. Trainer Matt's already working on them.
All right. All right, let's take a commercial break. We come back. We'll have more here on the Cheap Seats, WLC and 96.3 FM.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Brian Clark State Farm offers a range of insurance products to fit your unique needs and give you a peace of mind. Our dedicated team helps you find the perfect policy to safeguard your biggest investments. Brian Clark State Farm can steer you in the right direction on auto insurance, and we've got your home covered from natural disasters to unexpected accidents. Contact me, State Farm Agent Brian Clark, at 217-732-6211 or visit sfinsurelincoln.com. Go Railers!
Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
This is Chloe Froby from the 2024 Lady Railers State Champion Basketball Team, and you're listening to Cheap Seats on WLCN.
To the Cheap Seats, WLCN 96.3 FM. Scott Kirby, Jake Johnston, Jim Ash, Lloyd Kirby here at the Hampton Inn, broadcasting live. Just talked to Coach Silkey with a big Railer win last night. And, boy, 6 games into the season, Jake. Only 3 games left in the regular season. And basketball is just right around the corner. This season has kind of flown by. You know, you blink your eyes, you're already going into week 7.
Yeah. been a great season so far, man.
And you're on.
And I'm back.
Yeah.
No, great season so far. I mean, we got, 3-game stretch here. Not easy games by any means, but hopefully we can pull 1 or 2 of them out and, roll right back into the playoffs like we did last year.
Playoffs.
That's right. Playoffs.
That's the talk, Now, it's, I don't want to say, what do I want to say? It's not.
You have troubles with that once in a while.
I do.
Noticed?
I do. It's not detrimental, but it's not so much expected, but it's expected.
They don't call you the best color man in the business for nothing.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, great season, 4-2. Some tough games coming up, though. Glenwood's going to be a tough game.
Glenwood's going to be tough.
Quincy Notre Dame, they're ranked high in 2A.
Quincy Notre Dame's high in 2A.
Yep, and I don't know about Jacksonville.
Jacksonville's in between Quincy and Lincoln.
Yeah. So there you go. You're a smart guy.
Well, I bring what I can to the table.
Yeah. No Joe today.
No Joe.
Joe's skipping out. Did he call?
He's got some.
Did he call in? Another no call, no show?
No call, no show for Joseph.
That's 3 or 4.
He's got some family obligations to take care of today, from what I hear. So, good luck to that.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
You think he's listening?
No chance.
No, me either.
Absolutely no chance.
No. We got any good college football games going on today, Jake? I know you're.
That's funny you should mention that, Scotty.
I don't have real good reception in here, unfortunately, so it's hard to pull things up. And
well, we got the undefeated Rutgers playing the Big Red.
The Big Red. And where's that at?
That is in Nebraska.
Oh.
So going to be a fun show out there.
Kind of as fun as the last time they played in Nebraska?
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Possibly.
Oh.
I mean, we'll see.
Rutgers, are they?
That was a fun game.
They got to be ranked, right? Rutgers?
Rutgers is not ranked as of
undefeated?
but they're right on they're undefeated. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Have they,
But no, the Nebraska they'll have a big night tonight. I'm sure. A big crowd, definitely.
All right. Joining us now is Coach Lyons. Good morning, Coach. Hello. You there,
Coach? Jim cut you off.
Hello.
Sent you away.
He's not there.
Jim says he's gone. Well,
right.
Coach
Psych.
Lyons
He's not there.
Playing elusive, if you will.
Yeah. He's like, you know what? I don't want to talk to these bozos today, and just hung up on us.
And I apologize earlier. I was distracted.
Oh, wait.
Wow.
Hey.
I got my totals from the big night for breast cancer fundraiser there I was at the other day, and they sent me my totals and stuff, and it was a little bit taking it in for a second. So,
All right. You there, Coach?
I'm here.
All right. Yeah, a little technical difficulties there. Our apologies.
by technical difficulties, he means Jim hung up on you.
Yeah. All right. Coach, tough one last night for the Spartans. Played over in Auburn and just fell a little bit short. Tell us a little bit about the game.
We actually played New Berlin at home last night.
Okay, at home.
It was homecoming, so we had a great crowd there. Really played a great first half. 5-0 football team that we were playing last night. They have number 87 for them is a very good player. Made a ton of plays last night. But we went up 14-0 to start the game. I've been really happy with the progress our defense is making. We've been young on that, we're young on that side of the ball, and those guys are really getting better. I mean, we played shutout football against a team that had been scoring about 40 a game in the first half, So that's significant progress over there. Really played well offensively too. I mean, you got two teams that want to run the football. So they're in the wishbone. We're a triple option team. There's going to be limited possessions in that game. I think we had 7 total possessions in the game.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, so we go up 14-0, go into halftime that way. We had actually watched 42-1, which is the story, the Mike Tyson Buster Douglas story. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that on ESPN, but it's a great documentary on that, how that whole thing went down. And the reason why I use a reference is like when you're in a championship level fight and you got somebody on the ropes, you got to learn how to finish, and we come out in the third quarter and we pick off kickoff, and we give up a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Oh.
So, that's just not, it's huge momentum swing in the game. They'd really been struggling to move the ball. They get a touchdown. They get within one score. But we talked about how they're a really good team, and they're going to try to throw a knockout punch, and we got to punch back, and we get back on offense, and we're on a 15-play drive. We take up pretty much the rest of the third quarter, about 11-minute drive. Get down to about their 20-yard line, somewhere around there. We run a toss on second down. We're running towards the sideline, and we fumble it. So they recover it. They get the ball back, go on a 15-play drive of their own, basically, to tie the game up 14-14. We get it back. They had really been making it hard for us to run inside, and so we had some success on the perimeter. I ran a perimeter toss play on first down, and they set their defense differently than they had the whole night, and we tried to get around the edge on them, and we got a hold. Would put us in 1st and 20, which is, when you're a team that is used to, when you're a team that's used to running the football, that's not really a down and distance that you want to be in. Mm-hmm. So we just come up just a little bit short of converting there. We punt. And we were pinned deep because on the kickoff, we tried to field it, we dropped it, and then as Brendan was trying to pick it back up, he accidentally put his knee on the ground. So we were on about the 7-yard line when we started that drive. So we punt. They take over a good field position around the 50. I think they had all the momentum in the game and just, took it right down and scored. I think that led to our last possession of the half. We got sacked on first down, got behind the chains a little bit, and just couldn't quite. And then they kneeled it from there. Great second half they played. We just have to learn to finish. That's what I'd say. I mean, we got a young team, and they're still figuring some of those things out. There's a lot of positives in the game. I think we executed our passing game pretty well at times. I think that's something that we can continue to build upon. People are really keyed up to try to stop us running the football, and so we have to execute that phase of our game. And Ian threw a couple really great balls last night. And then, it's been really great seeing how much better our defense has been playing. I think that's a huge positive. I told the kids after the game that, really 2 years ago, we didn't start playing our best football until week 10, and that's where we want to be playing our best football, and we're certainly getting better. But we gotta pay a little bit more attention to detail and learn how to take our game to the next level and finish out those games against good opponents in the fourth quarter.
And if I heard you correctly, you only had 7 possessions. Is that the whole game?
Game.
Oh, wow. I mean, so, 7 possessions, you got to make every possession count. And, unfortunately,
that's right.
You don't have a whole lot of opportunities there. But, it sounds like the kids played, good, just some minor hiccups there. And, you're right in it.
We punted twice in the game. And the other 2 possessions that we didn't score were fumbles.
Okay.
So we gotta work on our ball security. I mean, you can't turn the ball over in games like that. You can't give up touchdowns on special teams.
Yeah. Well,
we had all the momentum in the game.
Yeah, setting at 4-2.
I think
Is that correct? 4-2.
Yeah, we're 4-2 now.
Yeah. So I mean, you got to like the position you're in. You knew the 2 games that you lost were against good opponents, and it's not like you're losing to bad teams that you should win. So that's just going to make your team better. Losing.
That's exactly right. And we got another tough one next week. We go on the road to Maroa. It looks like they're rolling right now, and we've played those guys really tough. We haven't been able to quite get them yet, but it's great because this conference that we play in, I mean, like I said, 2 years ago we were 5-4, snuck into the playoffs and made it to the quarterfinals because you're playing that quality of opponent.
Yeah.
Most, at the top of the league nearly every week.
So you got Marora left. Who are your last 2 games?
Our last 2 against Auburn and Pleasant Plains.
Okay. So, I mean, 3 solid opponents. I know Auburn's usually pretty good. And then I don't know what Pleasant Plains looks like this year, but, it doesn't probably get any easier for you. But, like you said, you want to be playing your best football at the end of the season, make the playoffs, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I tell you, these kids are really resilient. I know that. A great group.
Yeah, I think we lost you here.
Things, and they're trying to figure out how to do it, and we're trying to figure out some things about it. We tell them we win as a team, we lose as a team, and there's no pointing fingers. We're just going to learn and grow, and that's what we're trying to do. And it's obvious that we are, because we didn't play a terrible football game last night. We just did not. We just made a couple mistakes in the second half that were costly. And so if we can eliminate that, we can play with anybody.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, I mean, we got a lot of season left to go, and it's going to be a fun ride down the stretch here.
Absolutely, Coach. And, obviously I can hear it in your voice, a little disappointed and frustrated just because, that close and, a couple of mistakes here and there, it changes the whole outcome of the game. But like you said, you're proud of your kids. They fought hard. And I guess the main thing is keep your heads up. You got 3 games left. Let's finish strong.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, it's always tough to lose a game like that. But feeling sorry for yourself never helped anybody get there. So you got to get back on that horse, and you gotta find a way to get better, and that's all you can do. So control the things you can, so you can get the outcome that you want.
Now, did you get your quarterback back? I know he was hurt.
We did. He played great.
Okay,
he played a great game.
Good. That's me and Jake were talking about that before you came on air. Wasn't quite sure if he was back, but that's got to make things easier, on how you run your offense and some things that you can do. But man, when you only have 7 possessions in a football game, that's I don't know, that's tough.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, it reminded me a lot of the Athens games of the last 2 years. They were like that too.
Yeah.
Where it was like, you're playing 2 teams that are just kind of back and forth with each other, and it's going to come down to a turnover or a special teams play in those type of games. And so, you got to make them all count.
Yeah.
You got to make them all count.
What was your time of possession? I mean,
I didn't look at it at the end of the game. I would say that it ended up being pretty even because they're their possession team as well. So I don't think it was too lopsided because we both had those long drives in the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah.
First half we probably dominated it. Second half they probably dominated it. So I would say that it ended up being pretty even.
Yeah. Well, Coach, get those kids back in, get them all regrouped and refocused, and head down to Marora and be on the turf. Have you guys played on turf at all this year?
Huntsville. That's the only turf game we've played.
Okay, yeah. So I guess it speeds you up a little bit, and you got a lot of speed on that team, and
we got speed. We got some guys that can burn. We always like it. We'll be ready to go. There's no doubt. We'll be ready to go. We'll be fired up.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck next Friday, and we look forward to talking to you next Saturday morning.
Sounds good. Go
right.
Spartans.
Yes, sir. Coach Lyons, the Olympia Spartans. Boy, Jake, 7 possessions. That's tough. That's tough.
That's tough.
Being an offensive coordinator, calling the plays, you got to be just chomping at the bit, wanting that ball back because, you're talking. 12-minute quarters, 48 minutes a game.
Yeah.
And you only have 7 possessions and
two of them were
touchdowns, and then
two touchdowns,
two touchdowns,
two turnovers,
2 punts, and it's
turnovers.
Well, that's tough. That's just kind of, I don't want to say unheard of, but only 7 possessions. That's not very many.
No, that's one of those games that whether you're a parent of an offensive player or a defensive player, you're buckled up for a minute.
I wonder how long that game took. That was probably a quick game, you would think. Just running that clock.
I was going to say, it's just
running the clock, and he said they didn't have a whole lot of penalties. So, boy, that game probably only took about an hour.
That's the express version. Yeah, no kidding.
But that's too bad for them. They're right in it, and
boy,
like you said,
a great season.
A kickoff return for a touchdown hurts you. They'd only lose by 7, and some costly mistakes. But like you said, the kids are young. They're still learning, and that's got to really, for him, for these young kids, they're learning, and they'll be back next year. So that's just a kind of a building platform right there for them.
At the end of the day, a lot of good things happening. Yeah. He used a lot of cliches in this interview tonight. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but
who?
Coach was. He was dropping them all.
Dropping them, cutting out there for a little bit.
A little. But that's we're going to blame Jim for that one too.
Yeah, because now everything's fine.
Yeah, but everything's good now.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of good, let's take a commercial break. We come back, we'll have more here on the Cheap Seats on WLCN 96.3 FM.
This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com.
Are you sick and tired of the telephone calls, text messages, and ads in the mail for Medicare Open Enrollment? Medicare Open Enrollment begins October 15th and ends December 7th. Changes made during this time will go into effect January 1, 2025. Feel free to call me, local Medicare agent Dara Entwistle, and set an appointment to go over 2025 changes and plans. My office is in downtown Lincoln, or I can meet with you at your home if you like. Again, call me Dara Entwistle, your local Medicare agent and your friend in health insurance, 217-651-8046.
Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Hello, Lincoln and Logan County. This is Chris Grau from Grau Chevrolet Buick in Lincoln. When it comes time to choose someone to repair your car, truck, or SUV, Don't you think you'd feel more comfortable working with the local people you know and trust? Our team in service, parts, and detail have the tools, training, and knowledge that will get your repairs done quickly with less downtime and at the right price. Call the local pros at 217-735-4444 at Grau Chevrolet Buick on North Kickapoo Street in Lincoln.
Hi, Joe Ryan here with Country Financial. As pensions go by the wayside and your retirement approaches, have you thought about what your retirement income will look like? No, I'm not talking about how much money you have saved. I am talking about a retirement income, a guaranteed paycheck for life. That's right, a paycheck issued to you every month for the rest of your life. Sound interesting? Let's talk. 735-4385.
Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
This is Lauren Wallace, and you're listening to Cheap Seats with Joe, Jake, Jim, Lloyd, and Scott on 96.3 FM.
Welcome back to the Cheap Seats, WLCN 96.3 FM. We're broadcasting live from the Hampton Inn, and Jake, you know what that means?
Waffle, 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 waffle.
I had it.
Did you get a waffle?
No, I did not.
No, you're here awful early, though.
Yeah, I was up because I was told I may be at the furniture store. I was like, I thought we were at your place talking to Joe, and then I remember Jim said something about Hampton.
Yeah, it was in the text.
Yeah.
That we get
I lost
half
it.
hour before the show.
Lost it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, showed up out here because I was already up and moving.
And Lloyd's thankful. He thought he was going to have to fill in for me today, and I don't know if he's thankful or disappointed.
Oh, he's thankful.
Very thankful.
Yeah. Yeah, we had no agenda, which, I mean, true when you're on here, we have no agenda, but generally speaking, when Lloyd and I are on here, we have an agenda.
Oh, okay. Well, can I have that agenda to reference?
You're the one that's supposed to be leading this show, Scotty.
Well,
that's why we leave it up to you.
I think
Joe's a guest getter. I mean,
not a go-getter.
Well known. and then we've got Lloyd, who he's the broadcast general, and then we got Jim that likes to hang up on people
and turns knobs and
makes us look like fools half the time.
Well, I don't think
it's not him
too
doing
hard.
It's pretty much us.
Pretty much we can do that.
He doesn't seem like a very bright guy.
And you would
be correct. That is correct, sir.
That is correct. College football today, all day. A lot of college football. Some good games out there and some not so good games. But you got your Huskers taking on a undefeated
Rutgers. Yeah, at Nebraska. See how Nebraska comes out. They need to come out in the game and play like they want to put somebody away as opposed to just hang with them, and we'll see what happens.
Some other games that were going on, you talked about, I can't get it to pull up here, don't have any service. Who was the other game you liked?
The trap game I was talking about?
Northwestern and Indiana.
Number 22 Indiana, or 23 Indiana, who's 5-0 on the season, taking on Northwestern at Northwestern. 2:30 game, trap game right there.
What's the spread on that?
I don't have the spread on here. My apologies.
Well, what
see if I can grab it real quick.
Well, I can't get anything. There we go.
Uh-oh.
Now we're in business. 13.5. Boy, I'll take Northwestern in the points.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. Iowa at number 3, Ohio State. That's 18. Iowa getting 18 there. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, Ohio State's kind of on a mission right now because they feel like they were jumped over by a couple teams and being at number 3 when they started at number 2 and done nothing to lose their ranking, that's for sure. So they're out to prove some things.
Number 12, Ole Miss going to South Carolina. Ole Miss coming off a tough loss. You're saying that's a trap game, 9.5 points.
Well,
you taking South Carolina with 9.5?
I think they had a little letdown last week. Ole Miss did, and I think there may be a hangover effect of it. Coming down, there was a lot of people in the South thinking that Ole Miss may be for real this year and maybe competing for that SEC title, and it's not looking that way as of right now. So we'll see how they turn it around going to South Carolina.
Alabama back at number 1 after took care of Georgia.
Big one.
Did you watch that game? No, that was a fun game.
A little bit of a fun game, yeah. Big. I tell you what, Georgia about came back and took it away from them, didn't they?
They were down big and came back.
Had the lead for a quick second.
Yeah.
And Alabama figured, we do have to finish the game.
And they did. And, boy, Georgia had that right there, and Alabama with the big play at the end. And, boy, that was a fun game to watch.
It was a great game. Great college football this year has been a lot of fun. I mean, if you're rooting for your team, around here, you're big Illini fans, and rightfully so. They got a bye week this week, but went in last week to play a really good Penn State team.
And had some opportunities there.
Made it one heck of a game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Illinois was at the time ranked 19th, I think, and came in there to play. I think Penn State was 9, maybe.
Yeah, I think 9.
And boy, really put on a show. And Illinois is tough this year. I mean,
we couldn't stop the run. Boy, they Penn State, they're physical and they ran the ball on us.
And kudos to Illinois. That's back-to-back weeks. You go to Nebraska to that crowd base, then you go right over to the Nittany Lions, which doesn't get any better. I mean, that actually may be a louder stadium than Nebraska. So, I mean, that's a lot of good play in there. And kudos to Illinois for sticking around that game, making it fun to watch.
Yeah, well, it was fun to watch. But yeah, a lot of games on tap for today. And then we got the NFL tomorrow. Bears are at home against Carolina. You gotta think the Bears are favored in that, obviously, and Carolina is kind of the Bears. What do you want to call it? Well, if it wasn't for Carolina, the Bears wouldn't be in the position they're in.
Well, true. I guess that's one way to.
And Lovie Smith at Houston. You gotta thank them too.
You gotta thank Houston. Well, then I mean, there's obviously a lot more there, but Illinois still looking to get their offensive line and identity, and hopefully get them going in the right direction.
Who?
Or Chicago.
Maybe them too.
Yeah.
Thought we were just kind of what we do.
We transition back to the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, we're still talking NFL here.
But yeah, the Bears. I mean, they're if the offensive line holds up, they're going to have a big day. So.
Yeah, some other games. The Jets at the Vikings. Vikings minus 2.5. So Vikings a favorite in that. Vikings off to a 4-0 start. Does that surprise you at all?
No. That was my prediction at the beginning of the year on this show.
Not
on this show, actually.
Let's replay it. Yeah.
Roll the film.
But that's all I got for that.
That's all you got.
We don't need to go through all these games, do we? Nobody
there's
cares.
A lot of games out there. Hey, we had the start of the NBA season last night.
Oh, did we? Did you tune into that?
No, I just wanted to see how bad Bronny James was. That was my only thing. I just want to see how
you trolling.
I am.
Bronny?
And it's no fault of his. It's his dad that just drives me crazy. So it's like I'm trolling him, and I feel bad at some point because he's a kid, literally.
Yeah.
But that's what you get, I guess, when it's a little bit of nepotism going.
Something we need to talk about. It's nothing to do with sports, but Hurricane Helene has really really done some damage, along the coast and even up into North Carolina. And I don't know, we talked about it before we went on air, and just some of the pictures and the videos that I've seen, it's absolutely horrific as what's happened there.
Bad.
These families, they live up in the mountains and never in a million years thought that they would get flooded out and had no warning whatsoever. It just happened like that. And boy, there's a lot of displaced families that have lost everything.
Yeah.
They have nothing.
Yeah. And
the death toll's rising. It's just a sad situation. And I'm caught up in just watching videos and all the, the amateur videos that are out there. And, and boy, they need help.
They need a ton of help. And I don't know. I mean, you can't get in a lot of the areas because there's no access. There's no way to get in there. So a lot of patriotic Americans have taken their own helicopters and whatnot and flown that direction and got hooked up with some guys that know how to do emergency rescue. And times like these, you see the Great American Spirit show, and we're fortunate there, unfortunate in some other ways when it comes to some governmental things. I guess that's kind of political, but I like to stay away from that as much as possible. But in something like this, it's good to see Americans coming out, showing up for Americans.
And they're coming out in groves, and it's amazing. And boy, it's just horrific.
Oh yeah.
And it's we've got it pretty good here. We're just going on with our normal daily lives, and these people, they have nothing.
They had it all taken away from us. There was a dollar amount thrown out there by someone a few days ago that they were going to provide for these people, and it's like, you put it in perspective. Let's say, let's just throw out $1,000. You have $1,000. Well, what are you going to buy when you don't have a refrigerator? So you're not keeping food.
Right.
When you don't have a dresser or a nightstand to put its clothes in, so you're not buying a whole lot of clothes. You don't have a pillow. You don't have a blanket. You don't have a building to sleep in. I mean, you are on the ground.
You have the clothes on your back.
Your car got washed away, or it's filled with water and mud. I mean, it's horrific, and it's all the way up and down there. I mean, North Carolina, there's a little bit in South Carolina, there's more in Georgia. Florida was, if you want to call it, the most fortunate of them, and that's where it made landfall. Yeah. I mean, mainly because it's flatter there, and they're a little bit differently prepared. But it ran through there and then went straight up there, and boy, it took a toll on Georgia and North Carolina.
There's no roads.
No, they're gone.
The bridges are gone. The roads are gone. Yeah. So you can't even.
It's hard to fathom.
You can't even walk.
It looks like a third world country.
Yeah.
Everywhere you look. I mean, it's just. And the thing about hurricane, I was involved in a tropical storm. This was many years ago, and it was the craziest thing I've ever been a part of, because you're around here, you get passed by a tornado, it takes a swath and it goes straight, and you can see the path. I was actually caught at the very beginning of a tornado that dropped down, and you could see the devastation right after that, and I kind of followed that towards Clinton one year. Well, when I was in this tropical depression, it was, or tropical storm, whatever it was, I was driving down the road, and I was in the fast lane of a 8-lane highway, and there was no other traffic. I was the only moron on the road thinking I could drive in this. I'm doing 30 mile an hour, and I had the wheel pulled 3/4 away to the left, trying to keep me on the road. And that wind kept me pushing. I got down to 5 mile an hour, almost to a complete stop, and I was on the shoulder of the road. I mean, and that was just a little thing. I mean, this was a full-blown hurricane.
Yeah.
The wind speed was at least double what I was taking of, if not more than that. And it was just unbelievable how devastating this thing is, or was.
Right. Well, Jake, it's 10:01. That's going to do it for us here on the Cheap Seats. I'd like to thank our listeners and viewers for tuning in. Next week, we'll be right back at it, 9 o'clock. Don't know where we'll be yet, but we will talk to Coach Silky, Coach Lyons, and maybe some other guests next Saturday. So tune into the Cheap Seats, and we'll talk to you next week.
Good day.
Live video streaming of this event is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.